Hello, I'm Nathan Martin, freewitheft.com, and this is my friend Jody at jodyspeaks.com.
Thank you for having me, Nathan.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you for being on with me.
Yay!
In this video, this is actually the last video of a 3-part video series on addiction. And this time, this last video, we're tapping on, I just binged, I just used, now I'm sober again, or now I've woken up from a one-night stand, or whatever it might be that's your addiction. You're just waking up and you feel miserable, you feel guilty. It's time to tap into this video. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Even though
I
feel so guilty.
feel so guilty.
I just binged all night.
I just binged all night.
Or I just used.
I'm
I'm an addict.
an addict.
I promised I'd never do it again.
I promised I'd never do it again.
And here I am doing it again.
Here I am doing it again.
I feel so bad.
I feel so bad.
I'm horrible.
I'm horrible.
What's wrong with me?
What's wrong with me?
I'm an addict.
I'm an addict.
My life is crumbling around me.
My life is crumbling around me.
I have to stop.
I have to stop.
I feel so horrible.
I feel so horrible.
But what if
But what if
I could love myself,
I could love myself,
honor me,
honor me,
and own my feelings?
and own my feelings?
Instead of feeling guilty,
Instead of feeling guilty,
instead of promising
that
I'll never do it again,
I'll never do it again,
I can just own my feelings.
I can just own my feelings.
Love myself through this.
Love myself through this.
That's a possibility.
That's a possibility.
It's radical.
It's radical.
It's a new way of looking at this.
It's a new way of looking at this.
Maybe I don't need to feel guilty.
Maybe I don't need to feel guilty.
Instead, I can feel aware.
Instead, I can feel aware.
That's a possibility.
That's a possibility.
I never thought of that before.
I never thought of that before.
Even though,
Even though,
ugh,
ugh,
I just woke up
I just woke up
from a drunken stupor.
from a drunken stupor.
I feel horrible.
I feel horrible.
I've binged.
I've binged.
I've done bad things.
I've done bad things.
I'm feeling sober again.
I'm feeling sober again.
I said I'd never do it again.
I said I'd never do it again.
And here I am,
And here I am,
feeling guilty as ever.
feeling guilty as ever.
Feeling horrible as ever.
Feeling horrible as ever.
What's wrong with me?
What's wrong with me?
I could lose my spouse,
I could lose my spouse,
my family,
my family,
my friends,
my friends,
my job.
my job.
If I don't get a handle of this,
If I don't get a handle of this,
I need to control it.
I need to control it.
I need to stop.
I need to stop.
What's wrong with me?
What's wrong with me?
Why can't I stop?
Why can't I stop?
But what if
But what if
the guilt is keeping me in this?
the guilt is keeping me in this?
And if I become aware,
And if I become aware,
I can let it go.
I can let it go.
I can become aware of what I'm feeling.
I can become aware of what I'm feeling,
What triggered this?
what triggered this.
I can start looking at my feelings,
I can start looking at my feelings,
owning them,
owning them,
and then feeling them.
and then feeling them.
I haven't always been allowed to feel.
I haven't always been allowed to feel.
The only thing it felt like I was allowed to feel
The only thing it felt like I was allowed to feel
was guilt.
was guilt.
That was the only feeling I could have.
That's the only feeling I could have.
What if I could let that go?
But what if I could let that go?
I don't need it anymore.
I don't need it anymore.
I don't need this guilt.
I don't need this guilt.
It's just feeding my addiction.
It's just feeding my addiction.
What if I could honor the time I spent
What if I could honor the time I spent
in this stupor,
in this stupor,
in my addiction?
in my addiction?
That doesn't mean I'm enabling it.
That doesn't mean I'm enabling it.
That doesn't mean I'm justifying it
That doesn't mean I'm justifying it
and saying it's okay.
and saying it's okay.
It just means I'm not beating myself up.
It just means I'm not beating myself up.
It's okay to love myself through it,
It's okay to love myself through it,
to love my imperfections.
to love my imperfections.
I think I could do that.
I think I could do that.
I can love me
I can love me
in spite of my addiction.
in spite of my addiction.
I can love me
I can love me
in spite of my miserable feelings.
in spite of my miserable feelings.
I could love me
I can love me
in spite of my world crumbling.
in spite of my world crumbling.
I feel miserable.
I feel miserable.
I'm a horrible person.
I'm a horrible person.
I'm an addict.
I'm an addict.
I just spent all night long,
I just spent all night long,
all morning long,
all morning long,
in a drunken stupor,
in a drunken stupor,
in a drug binge,
in a drug binge,
or some other addiction.
or some other addiction.
I'm addicted.
I'm addicted.
I feel horrible about it.
And I feel horrible about it.
I feel so awful.
I feel so awful.
I said I'd never do this again.
I said I'd never do this again.
And here I am doing it.
And here I am doing it.
I mean it this time.
I mean it this time.
I'm never doing it again.
I'm never doing it again.
And then I always do.
And then I always do.
I hate myself for that.
I hate myself for that.
Why can't I figure this out?
Why can't I figure this out?
Why can't I stop?
Why can't I stop?
I just want to be able to stop.
I just want to be able to stop.
I hate myself
I hate myself
because I can't stop.
because I can't stop.
I have no control.
I have no control.
I feel so powerless.
I feel so powerless.
What's wrong with me?
What's wrong with me?
I feel so broken and defective.
I feel so broken and defective.
I can't do this anymore.
I can't do this anymore.
What's wrong with me?
What's wrong with me?
I feel like a bad person.
I feel like a bad person.
I'm losing my family.
I'm losing my family.
I could lose my job.
I could lose my job.
I'm an addict.
I'm an addict.
And I don't know when I'll stop.
And I don't know when I'll stop.
I can't break this habit.
I can't break this habit.
I need rehab.
I need rehab.
I need intervention.
I need intervention.
I need professional support
I need professional support
to make me stop.
to make me stop.
I need to look outside of myself.
I need to look outside of myself.
I can't find it within me.
I can't find it within me.
I need somebody else to help me.
I need somebody else to help me.
I need somebody else to get me through this.
I need somebody else to get me through this.
I need a new man or woman.
I need a new man or woman.
Or I need to get rid of the people I'm with.
Or I need to get rid of the people I'm with.
It must be their fault.
It must be their fault.
But what if
But what if
I can stop blaming
I can stop blaming
the world
the world
for my problems?
for my problems?
I can stop blaming me
I
for my
can stop
problems.
blaming me for my problems.
And instead of blaming,
And instead of blaming,
I can own.
I can own.
I can own who I've been.
I can own who I've been.
I can own what I'm feeling
I can own what I'm feeling
and allow me to feel that.
and allow me to feel that.
That's a possibility.
That's a possibility.
I'm open to that.
I'm open to that.
A new way of being.
A new way of being.
A new way of relating.
A new way of relating.
To love myself through these trials.
To love myself through these trials.
To love me through my addiction.
To love me through my addiction.
Yep, I just woke up
Yep, I just woke up
from an addiction.
from an addiction.
From being addicted.
From being addicted.
I used last night,
I used last night.
or I used this morning,
Or I used this morning.
my drug of choice.
My drug of choice.
I'm an addict,
I'm an addict.
and maybe that's okay.
And maybe that's okay.
Maybe I can stop defining myself
Maybe I can stop defining myself
as an addict.
as an addict.
I can let go of that term
I can let go of that term
and learn a new way of relating.
and learn a new way of relating
With love
with love
and compassion.
and compassion
For me in this moment.
for me in this moment.
For what I was feeling before.
For what I was feeling before,
I used.
I used,
And what I'm feeling now.
and what I'm feeling now.
I can let go of my guilt.
I can let go of my guilt.
Embrace awareness.
Embrace awareness.
What if I can be aware
What if I can be aware
of what I'm feeling
of what I'm feeling
before I use
before I use
and after?
and after?
That's a possibility.
That's a possibility.
I'm open to that.
I'm open to that.
Maybe I don't have to feel guilty.
Maybe I don't have to feel guilty.
Maybe I can thank my addiction
Maybe I can thank my addiction
for letting me know
for letting me know
I have a fire
I have a fire
that needs to be put out.
that needs to be put out.
I don't need to put out the smoke,
I don't need to put out the smoke,
which is my addiction.
which is my addiction.
I can put out the fire,
I can put out the fire,
which is the fuel for my addiction.
which is the fuel for my addiction.
I can own my feelings,
I can own my feelings,
my anger,
my anger,
my loneliness,
my loneliness,
my rejection,
my rejection,
my sadness,
my sadness,
my fear.
my fear.
I can own all those feelings
I can own all those feelings
and love myself through them.
and love myself through them.
Allow myself to feel them.
Allow myself to feel them.
That's a possibility too.
That's a possibility too.
So maybe instead of feeling guilty,
So maybe instead of feeling guilty,
I'm going to choose
I'm going to choose
to feel love and compassion
to feel love and compassion
for this man
for this man
or woman
or woman
who's going through this issue.
who's going through this issue.
I love me.
I love me.
I accept me.
I accept me.
I trust me.
I trust me.
I love.
I love.
I accept.
I accept.
I trust me.
I trust me.
I love.
I love.
I accept.
I accept.
I trust me.
I trust me.
Take a deep breath. There we go. I'm Nathan Martin with freewitheft.com. This is my friend Jody with jodyspeaks.com. And remember, emotional freedom is just a few taps away.